And we are back. Another episode of Trailers to Yachts, episode 26 here. Start with our inaugural cheers. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Thanks for having us.
It's our first 5-person cast, so we're a little snuggled up, a little comfy tonight, but we'll start this thing off. We got Billy and Todd here from Bazemore Pizza Co. Point Tavern, is it Dublin Road or Riverside Road?
Riverside.
Riverside Road.
Riverside.
So I'll have you guys kind of kick this off, whoever wants to go first, and kind of tell us who you are, how you started the company, and we'll go from there.
I'm Billy Bazemore. Todd and I started the company together. We worked together for a long time with Corso Ventures. So after COVID, we started working on like a pizza recipe. We had a couple other ideas, but we were really kind of honing in on the pizza. We just kept kind of working on recipes and, going over things. We worked at Ohio Brewing Company for about a year along the way, just kept on different, formulas, different things until we had it ready to go. And by that time, Todd and I started looking for somewhere to open up a pizza shop at. And Jimmy Woodland, we approached him with our idea, and he gave us pretty much a full carte blanche in the kitchen to kind of do our thing, and gave us the opportunity to kind of just grow a business. And didn't really ask anything of us, just gave us a shot, and now here we are. Today. So
Cool. What year was it you guys got started?
So it's been we've been open for about 2 years now.
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
it's almost 2
exactly.
years to the day.
Yeah, seriously.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because we took, I think,
Maybe somewhere, I think around April's when we were actually in there, but for after testing and cleaning, I think around May was when we actually first started doing like slices. Todd and I did a ton of slices for like the first 2 months probably, where we didn't have anything else on the menu. It was just more like pizza, all slices. We did I think whole pies, but it was mainly like a ton of slices we did. And so we used to have a Blodgett oven in there, which we loved the oven, but it just couldn't keep up with what we were doing. And being in such a small kitchen like that, like every ounce of space in that kitchen is like super limited. So we were like, there's no way we can put a second one of these in there. It's like virtually impossible. There's no way. So then we had to decide to get a different oven. So before that, we obviously had a new menu and everything. We had the menu and we were running it. It just became too much being in and out of that oven all the time. So
cooling down and all
yeah,
that.
For sure,
every time we opened that thing, it was
Kills at 50 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And then we had slices and subs on top of that. It's like, this is crazy.
cheese
What are
would
we doing?
melt.
Yeah, and then Friday nights, one was parked in front of the oven. Yeah, whoops.
You're not lying.
Yeah,
There was only Todd and I. There was only two of us for what? How many months? Probably.
I might pull old camera footage just to watch it again. But, it was nutty when we would get wrecked back there, and it was one had to man the oven and one was running around the other, making or cutting or vice versa. I'd flip over and run the pizzas and take over the oven. It was nuts. But we got the job done. It was our passion. We love doing what we're doing right now. So.
But the new oven was a blessing to us, honestly.
Yeah.
I know Portland. He liked he loved the pizza. He didn't like the oven so much, right?
No,
but we love the oven so much that literally I shit you not, 3 weeks later we had another one of those inside of the shop, stacked on top of it.
Yeah.
So
when you guys first started, were you primarily serving to the bar, or were you doing a lot of delivery stuff as well?
no delivery.
You guys don't do any delivery, right?
We do now.
Yeah,
DoorDash.
we just launched DoorDash, 6 months ago, something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. We just, like I said, wanted to handle one right off the bat. It's way easier, than trying to call who messed up. But
Right, and getting your systems down for being brand new. You can't be spread too thin.
Exactly.
And shit's getting fucked up.
Yeah, exactly. So
in the kitchen, it's you guys obviously know you're not selling liquor and that sort of thing. We don't have the bar. So the margins are slim. And so it's like, we're Todd and I for a long time. We're like, we're going to have to bite down real hard and just you guys know how to build the business. It's like, you got to keep in every ounce of money in there to kind of grow it and have the ability to buy an oven and a second oven and those sort of things that you need to grow. So yeah, it's been a blessing, man, so far. It's been a fun ride. I didn't, like I said, we just started off 2 guys in the back of a shop. We just were trying to sell some pizzas and,
Well, you guys knew it was good. You guys had to get the public to know that.
Yeah, very much so. There's still people that don't know we're there. Like, seriously. Like,
Same with
I
us.
try to touch tables as much as I can. But, but now that we just got, a couple guys in there now, it's helping us out. But it gives us a little more room to kind of touch base and focus on hospitality and making sure. Because, like I said, who knows when we're behind the, it's, people may not know what to do. We have some signage, but it's not. But it's fun back there for sure.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, we parked our food truck right up the road from you guys, and did you know they were there the whole time when we were going to the point? No. Yeah, I mean, we would stop occasionally when we were taking an Uber on the way back from work. We'd stop in the point because it's like right on our way home. We'd swing in there after a good day or whatever, and. Yeah, when I remember hearing about you guys, I was like, they're in the point? Like, I've been in there like 15 times. I didn't even know you guys were in there.
Yeah.
But
we still get that.
Yeah.
We still get, people know now more of us, obviously, but we'll still get people who are like, it's our first time. We live like 5 minutes away from here. We had no idea it was like, you guys are right here in this place. Like, we had no idea. We just don't do a lot of advertisement. The DoorDash has helped us a lot with that, for sure. That was kind of the approach Todd and I took to having the DoorDash. At first, we didn't really want to do it, but we were like, look, dude, like, we'll bite the bullet on some advertising costs and stuff. Like that'll be the way of the advertising, we'll give them a little bit of our business, but they're going to advertise for us. It is a good trade-off. In hopes that people will come in and just get the pizzas.
Right.
You don't want them to.
And what's nice, like, with, like, people not knowing that you guys are in there, it's very similar to where we're at. Like, people don't know we're there.
Yeah.
They'll walk by and they're like, I don't even know what this place is. I had somebody else walking into work like 2 weeks ago, and I had my shirt and everything on. They're like, what is this place? And there's like 2 people walking. They're like, what is this Smash Buddies place? I'm like, oh, it's just a burger joint. Smash Burgers and Tots. And they're like, that is not at all what I thought. Never would have guessed.
Right.
But it's nice because you can kind of control the chaos at that point. Like, if nobody knows you're there, it's easier to like market and get people to come than if you're somewhere where everybody knows and then you're just slammed and you can't keep up with the rush.
Yeah.
So you can almost set the pace at that point.
For sure.
Yeah. You're not lying, because if that would have happened to us earlier with just Todd and myself at the volume that we do now, it would have been a disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, then turning people away. And when you turn someone away for one time, they're like, well, I'm not going to try it again because last time I wasn't able to do it.
The late wait times would have been out of control. Just things wouldn't have been done the way Todd and I wanted to do them anyways. We wanted to build it like organically. You know, we didn't want to do a lot of that. We were like, hey, if we're not busy sometimes, we're not busy. We want to just slowly be busy to where we want to go, hey, we need to hire somebody, we need to hire somebody. Not we want to hire somebody. We need to hire someone.
Yeah.
What is, we ask this to most of the people that come on, what is like one of like the biggest problems, not problems, like you guys not have enough storage, you guys have not have enough refrigeration. Are there any like the biggest?
Well, like we obviously tend to sell out sometimes, and people drive across town, and we don't want to disappoint anybody, but like that we let people know, hey, this is a possibility, especially Friday and Saturday nights, and this is not our shop. This is a lot of pizza shops. You know what I'm saying? Like it's, with storage is a little cumbersome back there. You know what I mean? But we make it work. Me and Billy's worked on food trucks before, and I work, things like that. We've worked in small kitchens and we ran them before. And it's all about being efficient. You know what I mean? Right. So, and hiring the right people, to assist you with that. So it's really difficult. Billy was talking about this earlier about trying to train. This is our craft. And try to train somebody to do that. Like, and you're always like, oh, that's you're always like,
just
that's
fine tuning.
Yeah, exactly. And you don't want to try to micromanage them too, but you also.
But you got to teach them the Bazemore way.
But it's also like it's our craft. Like it's we don't make it like that. It's
like an artist. It's like an artist.
But it is.
Exactly.
But it is.
Yeah. So it's but
it's hard to do when it's second nature to you.
Yeah.
And it's hard to like dumb it down. Like no, it's not. this much pepperoni. It's this much pepperoni.
Yeah,
it's not this much cheese.
For sure.
But that's
Yeah.
where your margins, like you said, they're so
Most
thin
definitely.
already.
Yeah.
And we had Pizza Nerds on. I don't know if you guys
yeah,
do this
Brent,
or if
yeah,
all
Brent's
pizza shops do it. They weigh every ounce of cheese that
Mhm.
goes on a pizza.
Oh yeah.
Which
There's
I
some-
mean, you have.
Yeah, like
That's
Toritas.
the most expensive.
Yeah, that's right. I
ingredient that
believe
you have.
Toritas. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, you're
interrupt you.
good.
Sorry, I thought you were done. But yeah, Toritas. They have like a scale, and they have a pizza, and like they have all these different ones, and it's like this. It's nuts, and then
It's foolproof at that point.
Yeah,
We try
exactly.
to get
Yeah,
as
no, it's-
close to it as
Yeah.
as we
Mhm.
can. Like I kind of like we'll eyeball them when we have like one of our guys doing it, and I'll always like if they need a little bit more, I always put a little bit where it needs to go on there, that sort of thing. They're like, okay, I just didn't want to. I'm like, no, it's okay.
Right,
So because sometimes it's our pizzas are you guys have had them before. They're sauce top, right? So the sauce isn't on the bottom. So we like to make sure that there's a decent amount of cheese like distributed. That way it doesn't sog it down.
It doesn't like get your dough wet.
Yes, exactly,
Correct.
exactly. So and then you have those weird spots where it kind of will cook a little bit different, and it'll be almost too thin.
Okay.
So but yeah. But your cheese is definitely something that's going up. And we use pretty good cheese for ours. Grande is always it's the best, but it is definitely expensive. All products for that in the business are always on the rise. The disposables are always going up. Boxes are almost everything Todd and I do. We only have like a 3-compartment sink, so like we can't do tons of dishes all the
Same
time.
with
Right?
us.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
So we do everything to go.
Yeah.
So like when you eat there, all your stuff comes in to go boxes, everything like that. So we've just got a little bit of spike. Like fortunately for us, our manufacturer we get it from does a pretty good job of like taking care of us on it, but we do go through a lot of them, and that's like little small things like that where people ask for extra to-go boxes. You can't tell them no, but at the same time, you're like, man, that was $1.50 worth of boxes right there, like 15 times today. Yeah. So, but it's a part of the business.
No one sees that back end cost but you guys.
Yeah,
so
you're right. Yep. We used to a lot of times, like Todd and I used to when we first started, we were giving away a lot of ranches. And then, like, it got to the point where I was like, dude, we're going through so much ranch
Oh
here,
my
like an
gosh.
incredulous amount. I was like, we have to start charging for it because it's like,
That's
if we
nuts.
don't charge for it, everyone will just go, hey, did you just get
Absolutely.
4 ranches? Just get 5 ranches.
Just a gallon of ranch.
Seriously.
Yeah.
How much you got?
I was just talking to one of my buddies in Colorado with Misfits Pizza about ranch today, and literally he said he made profit at almost 8 to 10 grand off of ranches like a year. Like it was crazy.
America
Yeah, so,
is
it's-
insane.
Yeah,
with
no,
ranch.
that's crazy.
It's mad.
I don't
Yeah.
even like ranch
Yeah,
dressing.
yeah, it's like that's it's crazy. But what's some of your favorite pizzas you guys like? Let's go around and what did you grow up on? Are you from Ohio?
I am not.
Okay.
I've only been in Ohio. August will be 3 years
Okay.
since
Gotcha.
I've been here.
Okay. Well, since you've been here, what's one of your favorites? You like? What's your go-tos? What do you like?
In Columbus?
Yeah, in Columbus. Yeah.
I mean, once I found out about you guys, I get that like quite frequently.
okay.
Like,
prior,
you guys have been awesome.
prior to us.
Jets Pizza.
Okay.
Yeah.
Big fan of
Gotcha.
Jets.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's about
absolutely.
my only favorite chain. I like.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like,
like
solid.
chain wise, are really good.
And every time I go
Consistent.
in, like
Yeah.
they're good customer service.
I mean, who
like
doesn't love
everyone
it?
there is like on top of it. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, this place is pretty cool.
Yeah. Who doesn't love a good
Wait
four?
times
Yeah,
aren't
yeah.
crazy.
Wait
ever,
times
really,
are good.
ever. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So-
I don't hate me for this.
No. No one's hating you.
Uh-oh.
There's no hate.
My
in the
go-to?
basement.
If you say Donatos, I don't
It,
know
no,
what I'll do.
no,
with
no,
that.
no,
Flip
not
the
tomatoes,
table.
no. But if I'm ordering pizza,
Let's hear it.
Marco's,
Okay.
because it's like $13 for like 6 extra large. The deals they have are
Uh-huh.
insane.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, there.
It
someone
is
was,
by far not the best pizza in
Somebody
Columbus.
was talking about
but-
that on the connoisseurs page about how they try to get some hate on it, but everybody was actually liking it and not hating it for
Yeah.
$12.99.
I'm like,
It's
yeah.
Yeah, it's
You
like
know.
it's like Costco pizza. It's
Exactly.
Like,
You're-
I
you
know
know
I'm
what
not
you're
buying
getting,
the best
yeah,
pizza, but it's
exactly.
$10 and it's gonna feed 20 people.
Yeah, and it's not like terrible,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
everybody I know is eating a slice of Costco pizza while they're walking around. They're like, "Yeah, that was all right."
A dog on the way out.
I had
Yeah.
someone told me to get like the garlic butter crust that Marcos does, and I was like, all right, I'll try it. Big mistake.
Sometimes,
It was-
sometimes,
But it was a.
yeah.
I don't think whoever runs Marcos is ever going to listen to this podcast. So I'm going to say this, but the it was like a bowl of grease on the bottom of the pizza, and I'm like, that's too much. too much. What?
So yeah, people put too much on pizza nowadays.
Yeah.
We just keep it simple, kind of like your guys' menu. You know what I mean? Keep it simple. This is what we serve. Can I do? No. Well, this is the menu we have. This is I don't even have it in house to make that.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
Other than like you guys did the Greek burger and other things like that. You know, you're bringing other stuff in, but other than that, besides that, this is pretty plain and simple. Tots and burger, and this is what you got.
We have people that order online, and they're like, "Well, just give me some sautéed bell peppers on my." I'm like, "We don't have that. We're a kitchen, but we don't have that."
We get a lot of times like where the menu will say what's on it, and it say it's like the deluxe, and it's green. It's got mushrooms, or excuse me, no mushrooms. It's got banana peppers, sausage, and pepperoni, and then we'll get the sub. It'll say no mushrooms. And like it's like, well, it doesn't have mushrooms on it, so it's hard, But it's I think sometimes people like ordering online is sometimes confusing for everybody. I've ran into times before where I'm like, dude, I can't even figure this out. I'm just going there right now to do. I'll just go walk in and order it and pay for it myself.
And it's so loud in that bar. People try to call it and they have all these million questions. You can't hear them. It's like just do it online or come in and order it.
We always tell people that if you call and no one answers, we always just say come in. Todd and I always want people to come in. Like obviously we like delivery, obviously we like pickup, we like whatever, but we always want somebody, especially if their first time's coming, is like we want you the first time to come in and sit down and like eat it right when you get it right there. We always prefer that, but you can't always. That doesn't always happen. Right. So
Yeah, it's a balance for sure.
Yeah.
Because you still want to make a little bit of money from all that stuff, but you're like, I know that product that I'm sending out isn't always going to be the best. When a delivery driver just decides to take their time and it's 30 minutes sitting there, you're like, damn it. Yeah. Or it's like 15 minutes, you're like, I really want to remake that. Now they're here. And it's like,
see, we run into the opposite. Our tickets seem to come in and our DoorDash drivers seem to be there and like, the ticket time would be like 2 minutes, and they're already back there. They're like, "I'm here for the pizza."
Yeah,
so
like chill.
We just don't know. We're like
a bar over there.
Yeah, we just don't know. Like we always hope in our mind, and we think that it's the person just taking that right to them.
Yeah.
But you never really know. Right. They could they could be running a different app and take it somewhere else. So you just, in good faith, hope that it's going to the customer and it's only a 6-minute drive when you see it. We get all the notifications on our devices to see. And most of the time, it's not like super far delivery orders.
Yeah.
We're gonna pause real quick for a second because I want to fix something.
Yeah.
Pow.
Alrighty. It feels powerful.
It does feel
But anyways, technical difficulties brought us down for a second, but we're back.
Okay, yes.
Let's talk about Dave Portnoy. So he recently posted his whole review for you guys, right? When was it that he came in? How long ago was that?
What was that? December when he was Tennessee championship game, I believe it was.
Yeah.
They extend Ryan Day sweater and the planes and everything.
His frat boy party that he had on Ohio State or something like that. I don't know, whatever it is. I don't know.
Dude,
but we knew he was going to be in town, and like Billy was saying, to kind of piggyback on him, what he was saying earlier, like, it was over at Mealy. I was like, oh crap, and then he came around the corner. He was like, oh, you have a conveyor oven? Like, hey man, nice to meet you. How's it going? Like, what I mean? Like, who cares about that? I'm like, look at the pizzas. It looks good, bro. Like, we know what we serve. You heard the crunch he crunched when he was eating it. It's like, but it is what it is.
Hey, just keep doing what you're doing.
Exactly. Yeah, we didn't make it.
We were. That's like at the end of the day, like we said, like if you're gonna be like upset about him coming to your place, that you're being like, it's a selfish thing. And at the end of the day, like if you think about it that way, we at that point, Todd and I are like, we've been open for like 18, 19 months. And we had like one of the biggest people like pizza wise. Now maybe his opinion doesn't really matter per se, but like viewer wise, it does matter. Right.
Sure, yeah.
So for us, we were like, for him to even consider us in that short of time with no advertisement, nothing in the back of the Point Tavern, like we were like, dude, that's saying something for ourselves. So that's like, at the end of the day, that's the way we took it, and we were blessed that he came there.
Did he come back and talk to you guys at all or anything?
Yeah.
I'm sure he's pretty cool. He tries to advertise it being a dick.
I think he's honestly, I think probably behind like people with a lot of money naturally have more money, and and you're famous like that, you're going to come off maybe a little bit different just because people treat you differently, right? But I think in my mind, what Todd and I kind of both thought was, we were like, he didn't have any security. It was him and a camera guy. He had that sweatshirt on. He's at a place like at the Point
insulting
Tavern.
every person in Ohio.
Yeah, exactly.
And we're not far
given.
from the stadium, And we're like, he's coming into the Point, and there's tons of people in there that are like, it was packed.
Yeah.
And so just coming in like that, but we were like, he had to be an okay kind of guy. So like he was cool to us. We didn't want it to be super long though, because we were like, fucking we want you to eat your pizza. We wanted him to get it fast. We didn't want him kind of waiting around with it and that sort of thing. But we just kind of talked real fast, went over it. He like Todd, to piggyback off of Todd, that's kind of the first thing he said. And we were like, hey man, we had the oven that you liked the best, but we got rid of that because it couldn't keep up with like our business, So it sucked, but like I said, we were blessed at the end of the day with it. So
Yeah, it's some good pub.
yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
for sure.
Yep. We got a nice little picture with him in our little teeny kitchen, and we just kept working. We just moved on and kept working, and we've been working since. And it's definitely driven the business up for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
yeah.
They say what is it? Like, bad press is still good.
No
press
press is
is
bad.
bad.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? But it's like
love him or hate him. Yeah,
anything
you know what I mean?
like we
It's-
had Joel Hansen.
I don't like him.
Yeah, exactly. It's, take it from I don't
rubs
have an
me the
opinion
wrong
of
way.
him.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
and you can only
Yeah.
watch so many pizza reviews. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like it's
Yeah.
it's after that I was like, but like I said, we were fortunate he came through, and like I said, he was seen pretty cool. To everybody, I forgot to ask him. I was like, hey, how did you hear about us? Was it through Instagram or just? I meant to ask him. It's just. Shit, I forgot to give him a shirt and stickers. And luckily, I was like, "Oh shit, he's still got to do his review." So he luckily was still here, but
it happened so fast.
yeah,
And it's like
exactly.
different.
And we're busy, and you know what I mean.
Yeah, and just you'll turn around and you see him, and you're like, it's like everything kind of is real fast, and you know that like at that point you're like, oh shit, everything's like serious, like, and then you just start thinking like, well, my business is on the line,
Right.
what the fuck's happening right now? Sorry if I'm not
it's-
supposed to cuss.
No, there's no fucking cussing.
All right,
Dial it.
all right, cool.
No. We got a censor button. I'll enter.
Okay, okay, cool.
He's lying.
That's
Anytime I say I'll edit it, it's not happening.
Okay.
I got enough stuff to do.
Sometimes
Yeah,
that'll
exactly.
fly
Just
out for
live.
me. People that know me know that's it's
Yeah.
genuine. I'm talking genuine like that, so it is what it
No,
is.
we pretty much only have, for the most part, it's all restaurant people on here, and we all pretty much talk the same. So
Yeah, understood.
our listeners have
Understood.
gotten used to it, I think. At this point. But
Cool.
yeah,
So-
no, we. I was just gonna say, touching on that, it's like with all those like the social media stuff, they have like a huge following, which is it's great for your business, but can also be not great for your business, and you're leaving the fate of your business in the hands of someone else. And like we had Joel Hansen come in, who's like during the Arnold, he's like competitive food eater. And he comes in, but it's he has 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and it's like, yeah, come on in and have a burger. I really hope you like it.
Yeah.
Because if you talk shit, then everybody that comes to the Arnold next year is gonna be like, I know
Oh,
where
fuck
not to
that
go.
place.
You can't
know,
tell him to leave once he comes in because it's
Yeah.
even worse for you. It's not like if Dave Portnoy comes in your place, you're like, oh shit, we're not serving you a pizza. That's like the worst thing in the world that could happen.
Those people.
Yeah.
Puts them on
Yeah.
blast,
That's
you
what
know?
I mean. So,
Yeah.
you gotta, it is what it is. And like you said, good press is bad press is both, they're either or. So that's why Todd and I, at the end of the day, we were like, we're glad we just did the business that way because we didn't change anything. And that's why we didn't change and make him a different pizza and make him wait. We made him the pizza that was cutting, and right when it was coming out of the oven, that was the pizza that we made him.
Well, I'm sure
And
he
was in-
appreciates that too.
Yeah. So, I mean, we were happy with the score. Obviously, we wanted it to be higher. We thought in our minds for sure, and we still believe this. Had he not came back in the kitchen and seen the oven, you definitely think we would have
Yeah,
got a
like,
higher
skewed it.
score. Absolutely, it did. And we knew when he came back, Todd and I, when he said
That was
he-
like half the things that he
It
was
w-
saying was the
the
oven. I was like, get over it, man.
Yeah, the pizza got kind of away from it. Like it was like you're basing you liked everything about the product, right?
Right. What if you didn't
Exactly.
see the way it came?
Yeah, but it was like even in the outside part of the review, he's like crispy, no flaw, everything he liked. It was a nice blah blah blah, good cheese, and then he's like, but since the oven's this, I can't give it higher. This is the highest score I'll ever give on this oven. So in a way, like Todd and I were like, well, I guess if you look at it in one way, it's like you got the highest score you'll ever give on that oven. But on another scale, like don't base it off the oven, base it off the pizza.
Right.
Yeah.
You know? So, but
you know, okay, he always makes shirts about everything like the next day. I feel like you guys got to make a shirt. It's like, whatever your rating was, like with the oven on it.
Right.
So,
Exactly. We can get stickers made. We'll put it on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
we've got a couple of good publicity posts that have kind of said that they're like we don't agree with that score. Like it should have been, and their score should have been in the 8s, 8-1, 8-2, 8-3, but definitely not that. You should have not taken the oven out of. And we, like I said, we stand behind and support that oven. We love that oven. That oven's been wonderful to us.
Well,
It's super
you're also
consistent.
running a business.
Yes,
he's
yeah.
running a YouTube page.
Absolutely.
You know,
And he has a style that no matter what, he's always, he could get a pizza that's not even as good as quality or anything of that, but it just fits those like parameters of his. And he's going to give that a higher score because in his mind, that's what he likes. Todd and I have had people come in the shop before and go, we've had places that have had higher scores than you, like out of state. And your guys' pizza is way better than there, and it's always good to hear that.
I've had other places that he's rated, and I'm like, I'd rather have theirs for sure.
Yeah. So it is what it is. We appreciate the love, and like the people that eat it, they know.
Yeah. To be fair, how many pizza reviews has he done?
Thousands.
So many.
There's a lot.
There's no way that guy remembers all of these.
No.
It's just like,
And also, you got like he's a human being, like we all are too, right? And like he could have gotten off the flight and had from the right here, something bad could have happened to that guy, like on a text, right? Yeah. And that could have changed his whole demeanor. Who knows? You just don't know.
couple Red Bull vodkas,
Yeah,
a
little bit hangover.
You never know.
Yeah.
But he was visiting Ohio State, so he automatically has that. in the back
Exactly.
of his
He
mind.
comes to shit on Ohio State regardless.
For sure.
Absolutely.
He's staring at people's skin, most definitely.
Thank God he doesn't review burgers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Should we bring him on the cast? Like, you're gonna answer
Right.
the Ohio State and the Bazemore guys.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
we'd love to have him back in again. Like I said, it was a cool experience. I wish we could have talked to him for a little bit. Like even on the review, it was like shorter than kind of a lot of reviews. But it's only because Todd and I didn't have any employees, and we were like, we got to get more. We're cooking more pizzas, man.
Yeah, right.
So I'd love to talk to you, but now I'm gonna have pizzas flowing over the top of each other on the back of the oven right now.
Right.
So
you got to realize we're running a business.
Yeah.
Like every minute I'm talking to you, pizzas aren't getting made.
And that was-
I got to get back there. Like this is awesome. I
yeah.
got to go.
And that was prior. We only had one oven at that point as well. So like we were having we were holding pizzas and waiting for the next one to come in as fast as we could, So, but it would have been nice to at least kind of get a little of a backdrop, more of a backdrop to him or that sort of thing. Maybe we could have tugged on his strings a little bit. Right. It could have bumped us just naturally, but it is what it is, man.
Yeah. It was pretty similar when we had Joel Hansen come in. Cause we talked to him for like a month and a half before then, and we kind of had it planned out. Like he never told us that he would want one of us sitting with him the whole time he ate this thing to answer questions and talk about the product and all that. And so we staffed our kitchen accordingly, and my job was to work the front and take orders and all that. And of course we're busy the whole time he's in, and he's like, yeah, just come over here and we'll have a conversation for 45 minutes. And I'm sitting there. I can't wait to see this video because I'm sitting there trying to talk to him and have a conversation about the food. But I'm just like watching the restaurant, and it's just filling up. And I'm like, oh God. I'm like, everything's falling apart around me. And I'm sitting here
down,
watching this guy eat a massive cheeseburger with way too much mustard on it. And but the cool thing, at least that one, everybody who came in saw what was going on in the corner. And so I think they had some grace with us.
Oh yeah.
When it's like their order is going to take a little longer because we're a man down, but they're like, what the hell is that guy eating over there? It's like a massive burger, but it's you live and learn. Good old social media.
What is you guys do specialty pies?
Yeah.
What is each of you guys, what is your favorite that's on menu?
So specialty or just overall pie?
Just overall, yeah.
My go-to is just the standard cheese.
Okay.
Ooh.
That's my favorite always. Like anywhere I go, usually just get kind of a cheese, or if anything, maybe one topping on it.
That's the first time I go somewhere. It's got to be just cheese because I'm not
Cheese,
going to
yeah.
pay $4 for a topping if I don't like the base.
Yeah, and plus, if the base is no good, then most likely the toppings that
gonna
they're
be shit
using
as
aren't
well.
going to be very good either. Yeah, that most definitely. But that's my favorite. If I was to pick a like one of our custom pies, I would probably say the meatball. I enjoy the meatball. I love our meatball, so I'd probably say the meatball if I was going to do one like that. For sure.
Yeah, same for sure. We competed down in Belterra, Indiana, like the casino down there.
Yep.
Yeah, no, we went with the meatball. That's one of our favorites. We, like I said, it's a nice recipe, and like I said, we would want to give Dave Portnoy an order, and we were so like, it's like, damn it, you can get a meatball. So, but
It's a good visual pie too.
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
visually very like it's good. It looks good. It tastes good, but it just got a really good look to it without too much going on.
What do you guys cut the meatballs in half or leave them whole?
So we slice them.
Oh, okay.
We slice them, and we kind of spread them out throughout. So every bite you're gonna get a nice bite of a meatball on there. Yeah, yeah. And it's got ricotta on it, and roasted garlic. It's got the basil pesto, which is everything in our menu is we don't have everything's allergy free. We don't have it. So our pesto is nutless. It's a nutless pesto.
That's how I make mine too.
Yeah.
Just because
exactly.
if you contaminate any part of your your kitchen,
I have nut allergies myself.
Yeah.
Yep.
Plus,
So and now
pine nuts are expensive, man.
yeah, they are.
Crazy.
oh, pinoles.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah.
They're expensive. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
definitely expensive.
Yes, and then if you try to like roast them or something, and you got a
then you
jackass
got-
working in the oven, and they
Yeah,
burn,
they burn
Yeah.
a half
a
sheet
pound
tray.
of-
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
You wanna,
But
like-
just nowadays, I mean, so many people. I have them myself, but so many people. I had them growing up, so it's not like it was never like weird to me. Yeah, but a lot of people have them now. Like a ton of people have like some sort of allergies now. So like we used to have our rolls were seated before. We don't even have them seated anymore, just because I think now it's essentially sesame seeds are considered a food allergen now. So we don't even have those on our menu. So we just trying to keep it like that for the guests, just in case kids have got it and stuff. We just don't want to risk anyone getting, So, but yeah.
cheese pies,
Cheese pie.
and meatball pie.
for sure.
Yeah.
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 I might have to
What's
come
your
get a
what's
meatball.
your go-to pie?
The mushroom.
The mushroom. Yeah.
That's
That's
the
another
first
good
pie I had, and
one.
I was like,
Yeah, that's good.
I saw it on the menu. I was like, this is like the perfect pizza. I was like, this is fucking awesome.
It is
Nice.
good.
Yeah,
So
It
every
is
time
good.
I go, I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm good.
we still
So
have a
like
lot.
no like obviously like the mushroom, the meatball, and the margarita are all very similar.
Yeah.
Like it's just swapping kind of like a protein for a veggie for a veggie. So like really I'd eat any of those really. Yeah.
It's crazy how much flavor is in that mushroom. It's like you taste the mushroom.
Yeah. We
It's
don't
fantastic.
cheat on
Yeah.
those.
Yeah,
Todd and
yeah.
I like don't make like it's silly on it, like anyone who cooks obviously knows that like when you cook fresh mushrooms they shrink down and that sort of thing. And so mushrooms are always pretty pricey, and we put a good amount of mushrooms on there, so like we really don't make too much money on those like mushroom like toppings sometimes, we're like Todd and I are like sometimes we're like, hey, we went through 8 quarts of mushrooms like in already, and plus all that we had already in station. Like how many mushrooms did we go through? And they're like, well, we sold this amount of it's they cook down, but it's worth it to us. We want to make sure that if you're ordering a mushroom pizza, we're not putting canned mushrooms on your pizza or like mushrooms that are just half-assed. We don't want them to could be raw and kind of leach out on the pie. We want to roast that out.
So you cook them
flavor.
first?
Yeah, they're par cooked.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's the way to do it.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're too spongy. Sometimes they don't get cooked all the way. And you gotta, if you're like gonna roast them, we do a mushroom burger, and I put shallots, thyme, fresh garlic, all in that, and then we top it with a nice amount of mushrooms. But you need that because mushrooms are just there's a sponge. They just soak up all that flavor, so it's all just gonna get distributed throughout the whole thing.
Yeah. We just want to, Todd and I, our thing was that we're like, if we're going to keep it simple, right, we have to make sure everything that we do is like really, really good.
Right.
So if you're
Sounds
only gonna
familiar.
Yeah. I mean, really, that's the name of the game, It's, people always want to have so much things. And then when you really sit back and you look at it, it's like, it's quality over quantity at the end of the day. You know, you can add all these things on there, but then it becomes unmanageable, or you're just using like like the art of your hands touching everything starts to kind of get away from you, and then you start using prefab this and everything becomes. And then you're not what you started out to be. And Todd and I really were like, we're just going to always keep it small for that reason.
Right.
You know?
Well, it's something that like kind of comes back on every episode that we do with a different restaurant. It's like all the customers are like, you guys should do more. And everyone else who owns a business or has been in your shoes before, they're like, do less.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it's like, it's easy to say like, oh, add this to your menu, add this. But it's like, people don't understand the more you add, like, the more lesser of a product they're getting, you know, and the consistency is going to drop, prices are going to go up, you know, and so it's like, we want all of this good stuff you're doing, but just, you know, do everything else too at the same time.
Yeah.
Make it all the same level of quality.
Sure. Yeah.
With 10 employees.
It's like, there's a reason we're good at making a cheeseburger, because that's the only thing we do.
Yeah.
We do it with vegetables, we do it without vegetables. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
you start, you know how it is. You start adding produce is really expensive and it doesn't last long at all. Yeah. So like, it's like you start adding these things on there, green peppers and then all of a sudden it's like, hey, we only have like 3 customers that order green peppers. So it's like, if you order a case of green peppers and you only have 3 customers that order green peppers, you're throwing away a lot of green
all the moldy
peppers,
bells,
or you're eating a lot of green peppers. One or the other.
Or the other option. You buy the canned ones and they're just shit.
Yeah. And they're going back to, that's why we would never do it. We just say, we just don't have it.
Right.
Yep. It's almost like when Todd and I sell out of things. When sometimes we know we get so busy, the mushrooms probably turn into I'd say the meatball used to be our biggest specialty pie, but I'd say as of lately, the mushroom's probably been one of our biggest sellers. And sometimes we run out of, we run out of mushrooms sometimes, and Todd and I are like, we look at each other, we think maybe one of us could run to the store like real fast and like be back real quick and throw a tray of mushrooms in and like toss them, like, because we've worked like that a million times before. So it's not like, and we're like, there's 2 of us, so one of us could do it. But at the end of the day, we're like, no, we don't want to step away. And like, then maybe something slides here or something. So, hey, we just 86 mushrooms for the day. We apologize. You know,
you go to the store, they're not there. Like,
well, there's
I mean, it's like, what the heck? What do you mean you don't have mushrooms? Like,
how close is the closest store to you guys? Like Giant Eagle down there?
Yeah.
Well, we have the Kroger's not far.
The Kroger on
too
Chambers right there, and then and then
the
Tremont. There's a Giant Eagle up there on Tremont, a little bit more north of us. There's
we are blessed with a Kroger like 2 blocks away.
Oh yeah, right down the street. Yeah,
right down the street.
Nice.
So it's like twice a week.
Sure.
It's like, yo, we need this.
Yeah. Nice little jog. It takes
one of us is just
10 minutes.
It's like we can make it to Kroger and back and get cucumbers or whatever.
Exactly.
You know, whatever we need in like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's a small blessing in our spot.
Yeah, God bless. That usually only happens. I feel like to Todd and I towards the very when you don't want it to happen to you, right? When you're like online ordering's done and everything is like off, but you still are making the last end of your pizzas, and all of a sudden you're like, oh no, I have 2 more mushrooms left and I don't have any more 9 pans of mushrooms. So then you have to like call, like we always do a really good job of, Todd is the best at that, of getting a hold of the customer and always making, hey,
what can we do?
Yep, absolutely. He is the best. Todd's the best at that, man. He's awesome at that, and that's
Todd.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep.
So dealing with customers, it's a lot of patience, and like I said, everybody doesn't have patience. I don't even have patience too. One time it was like 7:04.
Todd's referring to me. When he's talking about patience.
No.
It's like some of us don't have any patience.
I was referring to that. No, Billy has plenty of patience. But no, there was a customer that came in on a Friday. It was crazy. Actually, national championship game, and everybody wanted their pie at 7:00. It's like every game's at 7:30. This guy's like, I want a refund. I'm like, at 7:04. You were supposed to pick up at 7:00. Your pizza's ready to come out. Like, calm down, buddy, and I want a refund. I was like, all right, well, I got pizzas coming out of the oven left and right, so if I'll get you a refund.
I'll take that pizza, give it to the next
exactly,
guy.
Yeah, right, yeah. Your pizza's already sold after I.
Exactly. We had 30 pepperonis behind it, so it wasn't really a big deal.
I wasn't trying to be that guy, but it's just like, man, dude, like.
I think sometimes it's like I said, just like anything else in life. Todd and I'm human, and everyone else is human, so we always like try to give everyone the benefit of the doubt, right? So we've always been in the restaurant industry, or a good part of our life we've been like somewhat to do with it. Okay, so like not everyone has. So like sometimes in people's minds, if they're online ordering for 7:00 for pickup time, they think like, hey, yo, it's 7:00. I'm here it's as much as I'm like, yo, it's a Friday night and there's like 60 people that have online pickup times at 7:00, right? But we do our best to get it out, because I understand that most likely sometimes those people that are like the ones coming back saying, hey, I ordered it at 7:00. Yeah. And we're like, I understand that. Todd and I we don't really ever want to argue with the customer, but I think sometimes they just don't understand that. So yes, 7 means we're going to get it to you as close to 7. If it's 7:18, we apologize, but the only reason it's 7:18 is because there's like 50 other orders that want 7:00 pickup time.
Yeah. And what people also don't understand is like, you care about your product, and we're the same way. Like, people order a burger like an hour in advance, like for 7:00, and it's like, we could make it at 6. It'll be sitting here at 7.
Yeah.
Sure. You want it right at 7. It'll be sitting there. Like, we're not going to do that.
Yeah.
So we wait until the timing's right. But then it's like, if we wait till we're about 5 minutes out, and then we can fire that burger, and then 20 people walk in and order.
Right.
And it's like, now that burger's coming out at 7:05. It's like,
but
it's 5 minutes behind, but it's fresh off the griddle.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like, we didn't make it an hour in advance because we want you to get the best product. So you might have to wait for it, but we can guarantee you what you're going to get. It's like fresh off the line.
You'll be thankful for it when you eat it. When you eat it, you'll be thankful that we did that.
It
you
comes
waited
from a
extra
spot
4
of like
minutes.
actually caring about
For
your
sure.
product.
Absolutely.
And what the customer gets. And so that gets lost.
Yeah, I think just in like the moment, they're like, but when they eat the product, it's like, okay, well, I'm glad this is
worth the
all
wait.
right.
Yeah.
I feel better now.
Yeah.
Oh, I got my fix.
We've been pretty blessed. Like, we've had like awesome. Our guests and customers have been awesome. We've had like really good support. A lot of our guests have done awesome.
Good luck editing that one.
Hey, no way, man. That sounds sweet. A lot of, but a lot of our guests, they've become like friends of ours. Like, it's been like 2 years now. So like when they come in the back, it's not like, hey, it's our guest so and so coming in. Like, it's our buddy, shout out Alan. It's different. It's really, really cool. You build a friendship with people over time. So we've been really blessed with like clientele and stuff. So most people do understand, but with that Portnoy review, that put us into like a broader spectrum. So some of those people, we don't know, their first time's coming to us in 2 years. We still get people that just see that review and come in for that. Hey, I'm coming in on a Saturday for this review. I came in for that, so we're still meeting new customers every day. Especially on Saturdays. I feel like Saturdays early, like when we open up from like that time to 3:00, a good amount of those people that are in there are first time people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people too, like even with Dave Portnoy's reviews, like I don't take any of the things that I've seen him review. Like, his number rating is whatever. But if it's somewhere that he's willing to try, and he's like, this is a good pizza, I'm going to go, like, I'm going to take time out of my day, which, he's done hundreds of them. He's probably has thousands and thousands of people messaging him, like, come to my shop and try this, So it's like, just being on the map of a place that he was willing to visit. It's like I don't care what he rated a place. If I see like, oh, he went to this place, and I'm the type of guy, I just go look at the picture.
There had to be
same.
I'm like, I'm gonna go look at the pies myself, and I'll be the judge if I want to go.
Yeah,
there.
Absolutely.
And so it's like a lot of people, I think, will look past whatever he says about it.
For sure.
They'll just like, it'll put it on their radar that he actually went there.
Yeah,
for sure.
I do the same. I think a lot of times I'll kind of look at the Google reviews and I'll kind of skim through it and find one where I'm like, I know this is genuine, and like a robot or like a friend didn't write it, and it's like just some like random person or like something. And if I get a pretty good gist of it and they pass the eye test, I'll give it a shot, So yeah.
What would you say your favorite pizza other than your guys's and Columbus's?
You don't have to say what.
I'll go.
I'll go first.
I'll go first. So Pizza Nerds, Brooklyn Pizza, Little Sicily's, Polly G's. Occasionally, I like their square. Their square is good. They do a good wood fire, not bad. Haven't had Gourmet. I heard some good things about them. I still have to try Black Dog Pizza up there. Nick and Jessica. What else? Try not to consume much pizza, you know what I mean? But I think my last pie was Pizza Nerds.
I've still to have them.
I feel
I haven't had your guys.
I feel terrible because they come in and they are the nicest people ever, husband and wife. I've only met them like 4 or 5 times, and I love those people. I feel like I've known them forever. They're awesome people. I'm always doing something with it on our off days. It's always Sunday and Monday. And I'm always like, I have like church, groceries, all this stuff. And it's like, I feel like by the time I'm done doing all that, I'm like, well, I'm already at work on Tuesday again. So I suck at going, but I need to get out there and go. Because every time I see like a picture of it, I'm like, that looks so good. It does look so good.
We've only been in Columbus for a few years now. But people like come in, they're like, oh, like you haven't tried Wario's yet? I'm like, bro, I've only been here for like 2.5 years, and I have been working every single day.
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, I have a whole list of all these recommendations for everybody. Yeah. But I'm like, I'm slowly getting through them. Like, anybody that comes on the podcast, for the most part, I try their food before they come on.
Yeah, Columbus. Columbus has a good food scene for sure. It's very competitive. I mean, not just in pizza only. I mean, pizza's crazy competitive, but it's nuts, dude. How many pizza shops are in Columbus? Yeah. And I'm from St. Louis. I'm not even from here. And I was like,
there's a lot of pizza here.
It's nutty. Like, I didn't even grow up on Columbus pizza, but St. Louis pizza is horrible. Like, if I took, when we go to St. Louis, I would never bring you guys to eat St. Louis pizza. The Provel cheese. I grew up on it. You know what I mean? I have acquired taste, but I usually go the New York style. That's just what I like. But I'll hit up a good Ferracci's or something like that up there. Some local joints, they do pretty good. Sometimes they make their own, or they get a higher quality Provel cheese, and it's not so funky. It's not so weird gooey.
I didn't know there was such a thing as higher quality Provel cheese.
Well, it's okay. So it's a processed cheese regardless. It's a higher quality processed cheese. They use better quality. But it's St. Louis pizza. It's definitely an acquired taste. But
really,
Columbus pizza is Columbus pizza is.
I mean, here's my other thing about Columbus pizza. Right, you could cut Columbus pizza a different way, and some people wouldn't call it Columbus pizza, and it's the same pizza, right?
Yeah.
If you just don't cut it in like 42 pieces and have like with no corn, with no crust, then it would technically not really be Columbus pizza. If you know what I'm saying, a lot of the pizza is just like tavern style pizza. Those are. My father's from Connecticut, and like any like little bar that you would go to would serve a pizza like that. They just didn't. They just cut them in like little triangles, almost like how we cut them, just smaller. Just smaller. But my go-to for pizzas here is I'm a big fan of Rubino's. I like Rubino's. You got to eat it there. But I feel like anyone that goes there, that's like a part of it. Like you go inside and there's like, it's a cash register. They don't take card. It's like check and cash only. They're like, they make them in like when you do get your pizza to go, it's like wrapped in a bag and like stapled.
Nick talks about that.
Yeah, like it is like so old school. They have the old, like when I say the cash register is old, it's like old. I love it. Yeah. The lady running the register, doesn't mess around. She's running the register, answering the phone, cutting pies, blasting the thing with the stapler. It's like an art. So like when I go in there with my family, we sit down every time. Like I'm watching these people do this. I'm like, I love, because their business. They're like a kind of a place that would never care if Dave Portnoy came ever. Yeah. They don't care if you go in to make a video about them. Their business is going to be the same or better always, because that community in town supports them because they have a very good, consistent product.
Is it Bexley?
It's Bexley.
No, when we used to take the food truck to Grain and Grape.
Okay,
went there like at least once a month
for sure,
and it's just down the road from Rubino's. And one of their employees would always message us on Instagram, be like, "I'm working right now, but I really want your burgers." And we're like, "What do you want? We'll bring it to you after we." And then we'd just park right in front of Rubino's.
Pizza.
And
nice.
We'd give them a bag of burgers, and the lady at the cash register like, DoorDash? We don't have any DoorDash orders. I'm like, no. Here's burgers for you. And she's like, okay, this is for so and so.
And they are so
and
nice.
They would give us pizza every once in a while, and it's like, it's awesome.
It's
I love this
fantastic.
place. It's like exactly
it's
what you would
nostalgic.
expect from like a place that's been there for so long.
Yeah.
That has like so embedded in the community.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, you guys are legit. Like, this is.
Yeah. You know almost from the sign when you're pulling in almost.
Oh, yeah.
You feel like it from you see the sign, you're like, all right, dude, this place is old school for sure.
You get a bag pizza, you're like, I don't know what to do with this being from the West Coast, but I'm going to try it.
Yeah.
Try it good.
Yeah. Also, anyone who has gone and hasn't had the pickles on the pizza there, oddly enough, you would sound like the weirdest thing. And like I said, I'm a pretty purist when it comes to pizza. But the pickle, remember I said I usually only get one topping at this podcast. That is my secret little thing when I go there. That one half, or I'll just get a small pizza that's got either pepperoni and pickles or sausage and pickles. And it's not like
red sauce. Red sauce.
Yes, sir. And it's not like when you go there, if you order that, it's not like they're looking at you like, huh? That's like a common thing. Like a lot of people.
Next time I'm there.
Yeah, I promise you. You'll be like, he's
trolling
right, man.
us.
I promise. I promise.
Yeah.
No, he is.
We're like, let me get
my
that
son
pizza.
ordered it. He heard him that he had that pickle there, and we went there and he ordered it and I tried it. It was good. I was
It's
like,
good.
it's legit.
It's nothing like, it's not some fancy smancy pickle, dude. It's just like a normal burger pickle, like the standard burger pickle, but it's good for some reason. It's good. You definitely have to eat that one there. Don't take that one to go. Yeah.
Next time.
No,
Yeah,
no.
we're gonna Google it before we show up and order this. But
And I do like Emilio's as well. That's another one I grew up eating as a kid. Not super young, but in my mid high school, we would always go after wrestling meets and that sort of thing. When my uncles, when I was a little bit younger, my uncles wrestled Reedy. My uncles all went to the sales, and Reedy would wrestle there, and we would all go. That was the place where you went afterwards, and it was like always a real good,
Hell yeah.
and that's like a tavern style.
Yeah. It's small and It's very similar to like the Columbus style pizza.
Yeah. For me, not being good.
I feel like Columbus has like 42 styles of pizza. Like people say Detroit style or New York style, and it's like Columbus is kind of a little bit of fucking everything. Like every single pizza place has like their own version of what they're doing.
Yeah, I think that's what I said. Like I was saying before, like if you would just cut it differently, all right. All it is the cut. It's like the visual thing of it. Like if you didn't cut it, 8 times this way and 4 times this way, and you'd have small pieces. If everybody just cut them and pie cut,
we need a pizza union.
Yeah, if everybody just did pie cut, it wouldn't be like, oh, that's Columbus style. It'd be like, oh, that's Franco's, or that's Tommy's, or that's Pizza House, or that's whatever, that's Bazemore, whatever it may be. It would, I think that's where the getting pegged in the Columbus style pizza comes, is like the cut.
What they don't have a lot of here is what from Youngstown. I like Sicilian style.
Oh yeah, for
sure.
Yeah, most definitely.
Square 3x4 cut.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
It's tough. It's because it's a tough one to do.
Yeah,
It's tough to get to the right one without being, I think, too thick. Right? Like too thick and heavy.
Because it's not going to be like a deep dish, but it's got to be airy and light.
Yeah.
But I think my favorite pizza growing up, they brought one down here and it didn't go. It didn't work. And
what was it?
It's called Wedgwood.
Wedgwood.
Yeah.
Was it a pub? Wedgwood.
No, Wedgwood pizza. Just pizza. Straight pizza.
Do they have a salad called the Monkey?
No, that was the Antones.
Antones.
Yeah.
I do.
It was Fernando's Wedgwood pizza.
Okay.
Gotcha.
But the best.
Yeah. I know a little place around here
Next
made
time
that, and I had it. Was if I like the monkey salad, weird as it
like,
sounds, it's real good.
Tuna and salami and or provolone cheese.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah,
it's real good.
We're gonna have to end this podcast early. You're talking about tuna salad. It's getting out of control.
No, it's a salad with like pepperoni and salami and like provolone and mozzarella and just like a normal like wedge side iceberg, right? Iceberg. Nothing fancy at all. And then it's like canned tuna.
Yeah.
Like not canned tuna fish, right? And then it's all mixed together with Romano cheese and dressing.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this?
It sounds crazy. It's
I mean,
good.
it's good.
It's good.
It's good.
I don't know.
I'm sure it's good, but
if I'm gonna eat canned tuna, it's got to be good canned tuna for sure. Like, it's
yeah, but this is top of the line.
I doubt it.
Sorry, we're the only weird ones here that like that. Yeah, but it's not for everybody, I guess.
Yeah.
But
We literally get that for holidays, but we get one with tuna, one without tuna.
Okay, not everybody. Yeah,
but I've been trying to put canned tuna on a burger for a while now.
Not working yet.
Not actually.
What would you guys say is one of your popular burgers you guys did in the past, recently?
Most.
One of them.
And I think anything that we do that's like got any sort of a barbecue emphasis on it does really, really well.
For sure, I can see that.
A lot of our burgers, because like Cole and I are working the front all the time. We have like a display that's our burger of the week.
Sure.
What I've noticed is if it's anything other than any style of barbecue burger, if you put like pork, we're talking about doing a brisket one soon, but like pork, bacon, onion rings, anything on top of a burger with barbecue sauce, people just look at the picture and they're like, "Yep, bring it up."
Yeah.
You know, but a lot of the other ones they'll read through and they're like, they'll decide from there. But I've noticed anything barbecue, they'll just send
and
it.
heat. People like heat, like the jalapeno popper sells well.
Yep.
My favorite's the mushroom.
Mushroom's popular.
And the chimichurri. Ooh.
I feel like we have a pretty good people in this state they step out of they like to try different things. It's not like they're not like, oh, that looks got too much. They're like, oh, I want to try that one. You know, they're pretty adventurous. I feel like on the palate here. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we have people that come in and get the new burger every week.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's
sometimes
sweet.
like 4 days in a row.
Yeah. We're surrounded by corporate offices, so our lunches is typically the same crowd. Every week. You know, that's why the burgers of the week do really well for us because people can come get their standard menu item, and then the next day or try our burger of the week or whatever. But
we thought about doing that a while. We thought about doing so. We've got some good friends up north that they do they call it a good corner pizza, and they every month they do a different kind of pie, and they donate a good amount of it to a charity. And so Todd and I thought about doing that, but once again, we've talked about 4 times, our space, we just don't have the amount of space to keep those different, because a lot of times those pizzas are 3 or 4 different things you may not have
that you don't
in-house.
always use. Exactly.
Yeah, so then you have to make space in the cooler for them.
And it's not just sitting on a jar.
Yeah. And so we're like, that taco, that Mexican pizza we thought sounded great. Now we can't really do it because it's got all these.
What do we do with all the sour cream?
There you go. Yeah.
So, to the listeners / viewers, I've been in your guys' kitchen. It's tiny.
Really?
It's like a food truck.
Yeah.
But I feel literally just a long, skinny hallway.
Yeah.
It's fucking. There's nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah. It's like you walk back there, you're like, is this?
Do you guys have a walk-in
kitchen or the closet?
Yeah.
And it's like, holy crap!
It's that small.
What the hell are you doing in the
guys
kitchen?
Are
so that's
maximizing.
He was back there looking for his pizza.
Well, I was saying
I 7 o'clock order, guys.
I was trying to say hi.
Exactly. Yeah.
No,
I try to be inconspicuous, but I'm like, I want to say hi.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Absolutely.
Where's my pie? It's 7 o'clock.
Hey guys, what's going on?
That came full circle. Have you guys ever?
I don't know what's going on here. Oh, jeez.
You guys ever heard of Papa Murphy's?
Take and bake
pizza?
Oh yeah, I remember those. Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
I haven't had one ever.
I think that'd be a big.
That's huge. So we're from the West Coast. That's huge from the West Coast.
Serving raw pies.
That's what I grew up every Friday. We would get a take and bake.
Yeah, gotcha. Right on.
Yeah.
So Todd, go ahead. No, you go ahead. No.
So
I want you to talk.
All right, so I'll talk, no problem. But no, we want to go retail with our dough, and then maybe a step further with maybe frozen pizzas are a lot of research and development, and it's a lot to do. You know what I mean?
Preservatives and
exactly,
shit
and changing the quality, and then someone overcooks it at their house, or they, you know what I'm saying? And we have a really we take pride. It took us for not forever, but we worked on that dough really hard, and you know what I mean? It's. I'd rather just sell a dough ball and then, you guys figure it out. You know what I mean? Stretch it in your own house and, kind of like what we did, to start Bazemore. We actually, doing stuff out of his house, daily and, having, family members come pick up a pie, take it to go, drive it home, see how it, holds, just we went the full 9. You know what I mean? So it.
Shout out to my wife. Thank you very much.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody
did.
Yeah,
putting up with all that for that long.
Yeah, that was kind of. But it's flour all over the kitchen all the time. It wasn't crazy. We worked clean, but still,
it was just a lot.
When you work with flour, it gets. You know what I mean? It's, you know what I mean? It's,
when you're cooking pizzas for people to take home out of your home oven, right? On 2 custom steels, and you're making sometimes we would have people come and not even come inside. Like it was almost like delivery. Like Todd and I would cut it and walk it out to them and have them go. Get out. Because we didn't want them to look at us in the face and if they didn't feel obligated to
oh, this is great.
Right. So a lot of that was done like that. So it was just, obviously in a home oven, that's a lot of cranking doing that in those ovens, But we did find a pretty good steel. It was pretty cool. Me and Todd looked online and found this company in like Pittsburgh or somewhere that would it was, most ovens are obviously, home ovens are pretty standard size, but they would even make more, because when you put in the oven, you got a couple extra inches this way and some this way. They would make them that big. So you could even realistically get them for if you had a convection oven, right? And you almost wanted to have something crispy on there. You could buy them and they would keep the heat really, really good. And they would almost mimic back at the time what Todd and I were going after on a deck oven. So before we had the ability to be able to get inside of a kitchen and fire it and oblige it, that was the best thing we could get for our dough to mimic that. Because we could crank, my oven went up to almost 600 degrees on the broiler. And then so we'd keep it down on the bottom and let it get real hot. And we were able to kind of almost rotate and keep the steels constantly hot. But that's a ton of work. And, that's the silly work. But that was the testing part. You're right. Sure. You're right. Or you can go rent out a kitchen and spend thousands of dollars,
Yeah. What was our testing? Bought a $30,000 food truck and we're like, let's see if this works.
Do you know how to work this POS? No, I do not. We'll figure it out.
Yep.
Yeah. We're using ratchet straps to strap down our stuff. We're seems legit.
Yeah. Literally our first event,
just
we had
slower.
A group of 12 people come. They're old people we used to work at the same office. They all came out to support us. But we want to put this on one tab. And I was working the front. I was like, idea how to put this all on one tab. I don't know how to combine these orders. I have no idea. So I was like, just give me the card and I'll run each one individually. I'm like, I don't know, man. This is literally the first hour I've ever worked in a
They get a fraud
restaurant.
text on their phone. What is happening right now?
So it was a big learning curve for us, but we figured it out. And now I know how to do a tab. Combine checks. All
2 years later, we figured it out.
All the fancy stuff.
Yeah.
You know how it goes, though. I feel when you start off doing it the hard way like that, and sometimes the backwards way and the harder way a little per se, right? And when you finally do come around to getting everything, it's that much easier and means that much more to you. You know what I mean?
Learn what not to do.
Yeah, there you go. Don't touch that hot thing.
Yeah,
don't pull that red lever on the fryer.
We spent plenty of time figuring out what not to do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you jump into something with zero experience. Yeah, you figure it out pretty quick.
And our second event, we did a rugby tournament, state rugby tournament.
Literally our second event ever.
It was a whole weekend.
It was literally our
crazy
busiest event until
a
year in. We did so much business that one day.
Nice.
And we were so fucked up. We were just not ready for that amount of volume. We would have lines of 20 people, and we're like, oh shit. This is crazy.
We were prepped. For 9 times the amount of business. Because we're like, all right, we make one burger. You're like, I can make this pretty quick. You're like, all right, if I have 20 of these, it'll do the math. It'll go pretty quick. What you don't pencil in is people coming up, taking forever to order. And then things going wrong, remaking things,
rain, weather,
all these different things.
Yes.
So when it's in reality, we're thinking, all right, we can do 40,000 cheeseburgers in a day. After that, our second day, we're like, all right, maybe
10,000.
Yeah.
Maybe 10,000. But no, we that was I think great for us. We learned a lot. But it was after a year of the food truck, we was still laughing. We're like, how did we even pull that off?
It was
with knowing nothing. We just fired up the generators and we're like, all right, here we are. And we,
I think, the first day we did like 300 orders, and the second day we did like another like 300 or 400 orders.
Nice.
It was like literally nonstop.
And if you can work together on a food truck with each other, you can work anywhere together with each other, because that's the mother of all places to work on anything is a food truck. That's what, like, our Todd and I, the only thing that's a blessing is we have that back door, right? That we can at least open every once in a while, and it's a little bit taller than a food truck, but it's definitely understood. Like, Todd and I would have never like jumped in the kitchen that small had we not been able to work really, really well together like that,
Which we didn't really get into, but like, how did you guys first meet and like create this relationship where you guys, let's start a business together? I don't know if
we met each other working at Corso Ventures back when Billy was a chef at Short North Pine House, and then I jumped on board later on as a corporate chef and just kind of bounced around the restaurants, and then always jumped down working with Billy. Plus he needed help too, crazy crew and all that stuff. So, but shout out to those guys. Those guys are crazy crew for sure, man. But
when he says he came down to help, he means like I had guys, like 3 guys that didn't show up at the same time to work.
Exactly.
And I was like,
nutty,
it's like 10:30 at a Saturday for the Buckeye game, and I
nutty.
need help right now.
Yeah,
bud.
dude. Yeah, so
ASAP.
I'm on my way. Yeah, no. So, but then we just worked well together, and it's we've and then after that, we just ended up going. We both left the company, and then we're like, hey, let's do Bazemore. So.
We started doing that, But then, like I said, we did the OBC thing in the process of that. So we did a ton of there was about a 4-month where we just kind of like, all right, well, we've got money saved up. We got to crank on this right now. We had been doing the testing before, but we're like, all right, we got like 4 months to start getting this into full go right now. Like, this is what we got to do. We got some money to live off of right here, and then we have money that we have this for this company. So we've got here's the time frame, and this is all we got, dude. So let's get it moving right now.
But you have to do that. Like, they always talk about, there's no right time. Like, you just got to put yourself to the fire and
absolutely
go.
And then survive.
We had a food truck, and we sold. We were just trying to figure out how we're gonna deal our cards, and we're like, we'll just go. We sold the food truck. We're gonna focus on trying to get into someplace. So, but like I said, Jimmy Woodland's taking care of us. We love Point.
Is that the guy who owns Woodlands and Woodlands Tavern?
Absolutely.
Him and I think a few
awesome
friends or something like that. But he's definitely the hands-on guy. We see them; they're great guys.
That was our connection through the place. Also through Jack that owns Blackbird.
Blackbird. Yeah,
we're trying to get him on.
Oh, really?
I think he's scheduled.
Is he?
I think,
Sweet.
Perfect.
He's a great dude, man.
Yeah,
solid
guy,
dude, great chef, solid dude.
Dude,
solid dude.
That guy
It's real good. I've only been once. I still haven't been to the burrito one. Todd and I's hours, like I said, we're usually by that time we're cranked in prepping and getting ready for the day and for that lunch kind of thing and stuff. So, but he's a super talented chef and a good dude. Yeah.
I feel like if you see anybody else from another restaurant come in, you're like, oh, must be nice to have time off.
He usually, I feel like he comes in on his either off days or he comes in on his way out of there to go to grab his family to bring home the food to his family, or maybe on the way to a sporting event or something like that. He's going to with one of the kids or something. But he's a super solid dude, man.
Yeah, I got to definitely come in and get a pizza. When are you guys open?
Go, Todd.
Oh, so Tuesday through Friday, 3 to 8:30, and then Saturday, 12 to 8:30. So, close Sundays and Mondays till football season. Yeah, right now. But yep.
I'm coming to get a meatball pie.
We're thinking about there's talk. There's talks.
Get 2 pies.
Half meatball, half mushroom.
We know, if you come in, you come in the back and just come see us. We'll make you if you want.
7:00. Where's my pizza?
Absolutely.
Come on a
Tuesday
or Wednesday or something like that, where it's not so hectic, right? And pop in the back, and we'll make you a half meatball, half mushroom, or something like that, just so you can get the best of both worlds.
You just got to bring your own mushroom.
Put an apron on, help them out for a bit.
Absolutely.
Just
like those
It's
DoorDashers
okay.
come in the kitchen. I was like, hey, you want to stretch this pizza? We kept walking past the oven. I'm like, where's this guy going?
Here's my phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Where's the
that's
pizza?
that's my go-to when we get people, because we have the dining room out front.
Yeah.
We close at 8. We'll get people hanging out
Yeah.
afterwards, and we'll start putting up chairs and wiping things down.
For sure.
And people are like, oh, shit, you guys are closing? Like, do you want us to leave? I'm like, nah, you can stay. I'll bring out some brooms and
you just have to
mops.
sit on the patio.
We'll do this
on the
together.
patio.
They're like, we'll leave.
We're having them now, oddly enough. Like we never had it before, but they always came like through the kitchen, like where you would normally think it just would stop. But they just come through, and it's kind of confusing. Probably
They just
for
pull
them,
it out of
too.
the oven themselves.
Yeah, pretty much. They come right there to it, like, hey, right here. We're like, hey, hold on for 1 second. They're like, I'm here for a DoorDash. I'm like, there's like 27 DoorDashes right now. Give me 1 second, dude.
Right, exactly.
Hold on. But now we've got, like, now they're starting to come to the back door, too. The new ones are starting to come to the back door, too. So, like, when the doors close, you hear, like, a knock, and I'm like, who the hell's here?
Have a delivery at 8 o'clock.
Yeah, and it's a DoorDash. I'm like, hey, dude. What are you coming in this way for? And he's like, I've never been here before. I was like, all right, cool. You can come in through this way right now, but from now on, just come in through that way.
Front door.
And don't walk through here. I don't want you to get burned. Just yell, pop your head through there and yell, hey guys, and one of us will come out. I promise you. We'll always hear you. There's a lot of times where like, we're walking with sharp knives, like across, like Todd will make certain things down at the other end, and the knives are blades are right here where this could be right here and they're not paying attention with the phone in their hand, it could be disastrous and that could be the luck. So, we just want to avoid it, but.
Or we'll just make sure it looks like that on camera.
Hell yeah.
Right. So
We got a good idea.
Nick didn't tell you about Todd.
no.
Here we go.
Save that for the page.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the Dashers are always fun.
Yeah.
I had a guy the other day, he just walked up and he just yelled All American at me. And I'm like, look at the bags. I'm like, we got like 6 to go bags. And I guarantee you they all got an All American in them.
Yeah.
I'm like, let's start with a name.
Yeah.
How about that? Like, we got like 3 products here, man. Like,
the ones that are super
No
cool
help.
to us always get blessed. Like I always bless them. Todd and I always take care of them with something. Like if it's like busy and we know that people show up and we're like, hey, like this order's like dragging like 10, 12, 15 minutes. And they're like, it's okay. No, I understand. No problem. And I look and they have a pizza bag and they don't give me like an ounce of grief or Todd an ounce of grief. Like there's about a 99.9% chance that they're getting like an order of meatballs or some wings or a cheese sticks or something like that just because they're waiting. Like I will just like run it by as we're bringing one of the 300 pizzas out to somebody else that every time we walk by, they're looking at like, is that one mine? Is that one mine? Is that one mine?
Not yet.
Yeah.
plus, if you fill them up, they won't eat the pizza they're supposed to deliver.
Right. Yeah, good Lord.
Gotta leave you with the full belly.
Yeah. Absolutely. We've been pretty blessed with some good, like for the most part, we've had some like pretty, obviously, you're always going to get a value.
Any of the
Yeah.
pizzas under the shoulder where they carry it like
Oh my
fucking-
goodness.
No, none of those
Vertically.
yet. But
That's
I
good.
have seen Todd and I a couple of times, like honestly, and we were like, well, afterwards we were like, man, should we have done? It was right when we got DoorDash. We're like really started right, and we had like a lot of people. Most of the time, everyone had a bag, and then every once in a while we noticed like it was getting colder, and we're like, this person doesn't have a bag. I'm like, Todd, it's starting to get cold, dude. Like we can't just be letting people. So then we had this one night where it was like freezing and it was like so windy, like just bad. And we had a guy come in and pick up 2 pizzas, and I was like, hey man, you got a bag for that? And he's like, I'm like, dude, you're going like 12 minutes. That pizza's gonna be cold by the time you get that out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
To the
Walking in the elements twice.
Yeah. So, but besides that, like we've been pretty blessed. We get a lot of the same dashers, I feel like. And like I said before, like a lot of our orders seem to be like not too far out of like 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes,
I think pizza travels the best too.
Yeah.
I
For
agree with
anything like DoorDash. Burgers.
They die. Yeah. But the pizza too, like that's why we said we prefer a bag.
The pizzas the burgers are all right. The tots is what really.
Like the fries. Fries always. Fries are a
But
pain.
it's
They're
like, you gotta realize you're ordering it like.
Sure.
Same thing for us as wings, right?
Yeah.
If you eat an order of wings there, they're like crispy, still juicy though, but they're still saucy. They're like perfect. But obviously if you get them to go, they're still going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
But you have to realize even with tinted lids, it's steaming itself.
Yeah.
You're getting some steam in there. There's no way around it, It's
saw
still going to be hot.
I saw a comment on Facebook this week. Someone posted about a restaurant and was hyping it up. And someone in the comments was like, yeah, I tried this place and it took an hour and a half to get my loaded tots on DoorDash. By the time I got them, they were like cold and terrible. They were like, I definitely need to try this place in-house. But I'm like, an hour and a half for loaded tots. I'm like, tater tots and sauce and
it's just going to be
cheese.
One.
I'm like,
solid.
I mean, you could
cut
transfer that
knife.
to a pan, put it in the oven, heat it up, and fix it.
Just cut
But
it
I'm like, man,
cut
if you open that box and just eat those right away, there's no chance they're going to be good.
No way.
It's an hour and a half.
Well, you got to know that ordering it though.
But
you gotta,
that's
put
what.
some,
Yeah.
But
There
yeah,
should be
that's-
no review about that.
But that's
about
what's
something
frustrating
like that.
with all the online platforms. It's like it's not up to the business, and it's not up to the customer. Like I've ordered stuff before this, like it'll be there in 30 minutes, and it takes an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, it's just the driver's doing other things and doing what and so it's like, yeah, it's frustrating with all that stuff. But
And
you got to know if you're ordering through like a third party delivery.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's up to someone else that.
And we get the
is
same,
what it
like
is.
that's another thing. A lot of that I'm starting to notice now. A lot of the DoorDash, it's like the same, like not the same people, but a lot of like the same 25, 30 people order every week. I see them all the time on there. So yeah, whereas people like they order DoorDash, it's just like they're not coming out. They're not gonna pick it up. They're just ordering DoorDash. Period. Yeah.
Which for us, we're hard to find. If it's a new Dasher and we know that customer has been ordering for like 10 weeks straight, we'll call the customer and be like, I don't know what's going on with your Dasher.
Yeah.
But like, as soon as he gets
Just, like,
here,
sitting in
like,
a
I am
parking
so
lot
sorry
forever.
about this. He's lost. He's doing his own thing. Yeah. We'll remake it. We'll make sure it's taken care of. Like, we try our best.
Oh, yeah.
Like, when you're busy, sometimes you can't do that. But
You try. Yeah.
you try it
You try.
at the very
Absolutely.
least. Because there's a lot of people out there who, like, they will order our burger, like, 3 days in a row. And then the next week they'll order it. And then every other week they'll order it. It's like,
We got a
know
guy. I'm
this
not
guy.
saying his name, but we got one guy who orders a pizza every day.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
Every day.
Same pizza or different?
Same pizza.
hell yeah.
Every day.
What kind of pizza?
All right, hold on. Is it Andrew? Okay,
No.
I had to ask.
No. It's extra cheese and extra sauce. And he's a super solid dude,
Hell
man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's every day. Like if we don't like, it could be like, I'm not kidding you. It could be 7:40 and we're like, yo, what's happening right now?
Dude,
Well,
We had the same
that was us.
Is
That was us
he?
That's
during
why-
the Super Bowl.
Really?
Wasn't it the Super Bowl that the guy didn't come in on Sunday? And you posted on your story.
I don't know
We-
if it was.
I think it was Super Bowl Sunday.
Yeah,
You
'cause
were-
I thought
you were
I
worried
figured
about
was
him.
on.
Dude, he posted. He made
I
he made
posted
a
it
post
on
on the
Instagram.
story.
I called him out.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, when
Hope
your
he's all right.
Sunday morning guy doesn't show up. On he showed up. He was just like 15 minutes delayed.
He got his order, and our
Yeah.
guy got his order, and I looked at Todd. I go, "Oh man, it's like he never fails, man.
Yeah.
Never goes. I was like, get him. We got to get him a shirt
Yeah.
right now, immediately.
Yeah.
He's now the number one.
Oh.
Yeah, I was just joking, but now like that guy, he will not ever be late again.
Yeah,
He's like, I don't want to be publicly shamed.
right.
So he's on time.
I mean, a wellness check.
And you know you're doing your job well when you got a customer that's eating, your product almost every day or every day.
There's
and,
nothing better than a loyal customer.
Yeah,
man.
sure.
It's
Yeah.
like,
Most stuff.
Yeah, because they talk you. They do a lot of like genuine promoting to people for your business, for you, and they don't want anything, and they're not doing it for anything in return except for because they like your product and
appreciate it.
believe in your product. Correct.
And it's at the point where like we've become friends with a lot of our
Yeah.
customers, which are like you'd never know these people until we like started this business, and now they're in all the time, and it's like what's going on in their life, and it's
hey,
just
how was your
cool.
vacation?
Yeah.
And from like all walks of life too. Like literally, that's the beauty of being in like the restaurant business. Like everybody's the same in that world, To us, everyone's the same in that world. We're just a couple of dudes in the back with some pizza dough flinging pizzas around. Who are we? Half the time when people come in to see us, like family members or like real good friends, most of the time it's like they're like crazy dressed up, but like they got a decent dress up, and they want to give Todd and I a hug and stuff. I'm like, you don't want to give us.
You don't want none of this.
Stay away from me right now. Yeah, exactly. They always get the elbow every time. Always the elbow. I'm like, I don't want to dirty you up, man, at all. If I hug you, you're gonna be flowered up.
We're at a Blue Jackets game, St. Patrick's Day, Monday, and some guy comes up to Jared. He's like, "You're a Smash buddy, right?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "My son Nick. This is my wife. This is my 2 other boys. Let's take a picture." Jared's like, "What the fuck is going on?" My son Nick loves your burger. She eats them all the time, and it's just
that's
cool.
sweet, dude.
Cool.
Yeah, that's sweet.
Sure.
Yeah. Especially like kids, man. If kids like your stuff like that, that's sweet, dude.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah, that's sweet.
Yeah, but let's wrap this thing up. You guys got anything you want to plug at the end here, or where people can find you? Your social media, or
sure. Yeah, you can find us at the Point Tavern, 1991 Riverside Drive in Upper Arlington. Yeah, give us a follow. Instagram at Bazemore Pizza Co. and Facebook. That's the only 2 platforms we're on right now. Everybody says we should do TikTok, but whatever. I don't.
Don't do it.
I'll just have I'll send pictures to my
We're
son.
not
or
cheesy
whoever.
enough. We can't get like we can't just like.
Come on, I bet you could do a nice TikTok thing.
I mean,
there's 2 types of people in the world.
Yeah.
TikTokers and not TikTokers.
Yeah, exactly.
If you ain't a TikToker, don't even bother.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm not a I'm like, I am failing miserably.
Yeah, force funny.
Work.
Yeah, force funny and stuff for us trying to like do it. That seems like to us. We're like, that's doing too much.
Yeah,
we're not like that, man. We're like,
no, we need you guys to start dancing in the kitchen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But I do believe social media is important, though. You know, as much as I don't like to do it and don't like it, it is important nowadays. So
that's about it.
Yeah, that's it.
Cool.
So thanks for having us on.
Had a great time, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on.
Yeah.
Cheers,
Thanks for
guys.
having us, dude. You guys are cool guys, man. I
Yeah, it's
appreciate
been a blast.
you. Yep.
Smash you later.